Alright, I just want to briefly highlight a new feature that I've just implemented. It's still in rough draft form, but I think it's useful enough now to include it. It's what I call a walking algorithm for margin marking, and it does exactly what it sounds like. You give it a starting point, and from there it walks around the margin as best it can. Essentially all it's doing is looking for a sharp feature point. So it has a tendency, if there are other sharp points, to get pulled away, or if things aren't sharp enough, to kind of get lost. Um, this prep is a good example of if you take steps that are too big, it'll end up getting pulled down here into this trough, or even catastrophically down here and follow this. At this point, it's not very smart. It doesn't distinguish between concave out and concave in surfaces. So in a position like this little sharp divot looks just as interesting to this sharp margin. But I'll give it a go and show you what the results look like. So when you click start, it prepares to accept a grease pencil stroke as an input. You just kind of look around and find this looks good. And sometimes the further zoomed in you are, the better. It'll give you a smoother line and therefore a tighter sampling. So from there, we'll ask it to find the margin. See it's cruising along fine until it got to here where it thought that this crease was just as sharp as, well, actually it is sharper than the margin here because it's a little burst left there. So there are a couple ways to mitigate this, and the first way is just brute force by increasing the resolution. And when you do that, the way this works is you see this little line here. That's what I call the search band. And at each step, it draws the band based on your initial stroke, finds the sharpest point, and then steps over. So if the prep margin is changing height a lot, you need a wide search band so that the margin doesn't fall outside the search band on each step. So if we increase the resolution and decrease the width of the search band, we're likely to stay on the margin a little better at the expense of a little computation. But we'll just double the resolution, which 100 is usually overkill, and then it's pretty good. In fact, we probably don't even need to do this. Right. And so the final little adjustment is what I call extra. And based on the way as it's marching around, it's going to get snapped to the sharpest point it can find. So that may cause it to undershoot or overshoot the planned number of steps all the way around the perimeter. So at the end of the day, you come up a little short like this. And the interesting thing is that it shows you right here where the next step is planned for. So extra is how many extra steps to take if you feel like this area here cannot be adequately represented by a line from this point to this point. So 1, 2, 3, 4. Probably add a few more there. Great. And I'm pleased with that. This is a relatively smooth, straight spot. You can see that as it was coming through here, it found that little artifact. Didn't really know what to do here. Again, first slip. And then also another little hole here, chose to follow that ridge. A way to mitigate this, I might even do less resolution if you can find a good balance that gets you all the way around, and you come to adjust points. And that will allow you, need to change that setting, that will allow you to just kind of grab this and place it, however, kind of a judgment call here, however you see fit. Oh yeah, this one. So, I'm fairly pleased with how it works. It's a good first draft. That's what you get. From there you can do your minimum thickness bubbles and things like that. So I feel like this is a feature that was really needed, at least to make this a little bit more user friendly, and it had a good